Hey guys, Steffanie with Steffy Jewels, and today in this video I'm going to finally review these DTF transfers that I purchased from DTF Dallas Print Shop. This is a local spot here in the DFW area where you can actually print transfers and then put it on any type of shirt, whether it is dark, or I can say, well, dark like this or white. For those who are familiar with sublimation, basically it's kind of like that, where you basically print using sublimation ink, but you can only do that on certain type of fabric, such as polyester, or using some type of other, let me pull this, you can see, some type of vinyl that will allow you to transfer, like this right here, transfer the actual, the image onto something and then put it on here. But in this case, put it over there, we are going to actually use transfers. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap this so you can see it. This is probably my second, maybe third time using them, guys. So I really do like this. And it comes like this. So you get them in a row. And depending on how much image you have, they put it all on one side. So that's the front. And the good thing about DTF transfer, if you can see right here, which is a good example, this has white ink. And like I said, for those who are familiar with it, those who are not familiar with sublimation ink, you cannot print white ink. You only can use color. So with the DTF transfers, you can actually print out white images. So that's the front. And that's the back. Now, I'm sure you've seen videos on YouTube that shows you how to do an actual hack using DTF ink. But as you can see, you still cannot print out white. You'll get the actual pattern here that you can put on your ink, but there's no way you could actually use white without converting a printer from, your regular printer like the one I have right here. This is a basic inkjet printer. You can transfer something like this into a DTF printer or a sublimation printer. I do have an actual printer that I actually did flip to a sublimation printer, which is over there in the corner. But I kind of wanted to show you how this looks. And it looks just like that. So let me go ahead and cut this. Also, before I cut these, they also do UV stickers as well. And it comes in what they call a gang sheet, which basically you can put a gang of it on a sheet. And that's not opening up like I want it to. So let me get this little knife and just slice it here. So these are called DTF, UV DTF stickers. And it's the same thing. It's just like doing vinyl. So this is like doing sublimation ink. This is like doing the actual HTV vinyl, which is the heat transfer vinyl. The only difference, like I said, this is waterproof. So I can actually put this on anything, and it's UV protective, meaning ultraviolet rays is protected for the sun. So you can put this on your car. It'll last outside without it fading, and you can wash it if you put it on any type of cups. And I'll show some images later in this video of what I did these stickers on for a friend's wedding. So those are the stickers, and this will be the transfer. So let me go ahead and put the top back on. Get my little scissors here, and I'm gonna cut them. Now, since this has like that white powder, excuse me, baked onto it, and I do apologize for my voice. I lost it during the Mavericks playoff first round, so it's slowly coming back. But yeah, you'll have this white powder on here that try to avoid touching it with your hands, because this is the part that lays on the actual fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut some of this off. I'm just gonna show you how to put on the shirt, put it on on t-shirts. Let me do this. In fact, let me get something to hold this. Here we go. Because it's been rolled up since I got this. So let me do this right here. Just gonna put it kind of like that. And just kind of cut one of these out. So I'm just basically cutting it from it. Now some companies will actually cut this for you. I don't actually mind doing this part. So I'm just gonna slice it. Being careful not to touch any of the white ink, because I don't want to scrape that off, because that's the part that needs to actually go on the actual t-shirt. So I'm just separating it from it. So that's how it will look. So that's the front. You can see the white, and the colors come out very well. So, and that's the back. You can probably see it's kind of powdery on it. Now let me cut this bottom portion off. I really do like this supplier because I was getting my stuff online from another supplier. And of course, it takes a couple of days to ship. But with this being local to me, which if you want to get into DTF transfers, check and see if you have a local supplier. Because with this supplier, I can pick it up 24/7. So they have, I think, a 24-hour turnaround if you give them the design by 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. And in 24 hours, they print it out for you. So it's very fast print time. So that's what I like about this, of the speed. And the fact that I can actually pick this up 7 days a week. So even though they work like 8 to 5, I can go after I get off work or on the weekends to pick up my design. So this is how it's gonna look. And we're gonna make sure you put it on this shirt right here. Now this is, what brand is this? Sport Tech. I'm not sure. It's kind of I think it's polyester, but it's Sport Tech polyester. And like I said, with DTF, you don't have to use polyester. You can use cotton. Like this is a cotton shirt. This right here is actually just heat transfer vinyl on my shirt. But I could put this on cotton or you know, polyester brand or Poly blend or anything like that. Well, now for the stickers right here, this has to be on a hard surface. You cannot put these on fabric. So this got to be on a porous surface. You can put it on here, the back of your phone, just anywhere that's going to be hard. That way it stays on there right. So let me go ahead and get this prep. So to get this prep, I'm going to get my heat press started so you can see how this works. And we're finna get this shirt prepped, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've got my heat press set up right here. I got it turned on, and I got my little notebook here because I keep notes. And everything I do was sublimation or heat transfer. For this particular brand, you need to have it at 300 Fahrenheit, which I have it set 300. It said on the directions 9 to 13 seconds. With a 10-second cool, the peel, you could do a hot or cold peel. But since I said this is my second or third time using this brand, I kind of have it down to my science. So I know to press it for 15 seconds, which I had to set for 15 seconds. And then I let it beep once it gets done doing it for another 15 seconds to make sure that the actual image is adhered to my fabric. I also got my notes here to use a fan to kind of cool off for like 5 to 10 seconds. So I got this little fan that I got from some like craft fair or whatever to kind of help cool it down. If you don't have a fan, you can just use your hand. I know they have those little cooling blocks out there on the market, or use a tile. Right now on my camera it's on a tile. So I can actually put my the shirt on the tile to have it cool off for a few seconds. And then if I have to, repress it again for 7 to 8 seconds if the image is still showing that it's not coming off the transfer sheet. So here's my little notes for that. All right, all my notes down. This is a good handy tool for anybody new or you know, an expert. Write your stuff down so that way you can always remember what you're doing. Just if I don't use it all the time, I don't remember. Oh, also use a Teflon sheet. So even though right here, I believe this is protected, I'm not sure, but just to be on the safe side so we don't mess up my actual heat press, I will use a Teflon sheet on top of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this prep for you guys live while this is heating up, because this takes a while. So a good rule of thumb is, if you know you're gonna be using a heat press like this, go ahead and turn it on as soon as you get in your room, because it takes a long time to do it. You can use any heat source. As I found out, you can use an easy press. Like I do have a mini easy press right here. I have the big one as well. I heard you can use an iron. I don't recommend using an iron, so if you can't get this, because this isn't a good purchase right here, you can start with an easy mini press. This is like 50 bucks right now. You can get any brand, or you can use the easy press that I just showed her earlier. So I'm going to get this prep right now while that's heating up. Hopefully by the time I get this prepped, this will be ready to go. Oh, another thing you can use that is not necessary, but I started using it because this is actually a logo for a t-shirt right here. And I'm saying, I can get closer, you can see it. So that's how it looks right there. And then that's the back. You can see that you can't probably see the crystallized. It's kind of like crystallized back there, but that's the DTF powder, which, you know what, I'm gonna show you this because I actually have the powder that they kind of use. So excuse me, I cut in front of the camera. Because I actually did the hack before. This is the powder. It's called the DTF transfer adhesive, and that's what that white stuff is in the back. It's basically, it's a white powder. I'm not gonna touch this here because I don't want it on my shirts. but it looks kind of like this. You can see it. It's like a white powder that if you have a DTF printer, the machine will actually bake this on the back of your image. So just think about any ink, whether it's sublimation or your HP printer. When you print something, you have the ink, but you need something now to stick it to it. And this is kind of like what makes the process happen. This white stuff sticks to the back of it. So the white powder sticks to the back of the ink as it's wet, and then you use the heat to transfer both your image and the powder together. So a little tip right here. So I want to show you that. Put this back where it belongs. So I'm gonna go over here and put this up. Excuse me again, across the camera. And I have done the DTF hack before, but like I said, you have to print the image on a specialized film, and then you have to take this powder and like shuffle it or shift it on top of the ink while it's wet, and then using a heat press, hover over it and bake it. That takes too much time and effort, and like I said, you can't print white because there's no white ink. So with me doing it this route, not only do I save time, it's actually cost efficient, because if I have an order, I could just put everybody on one order and get it all. Like I said, you can get it shipped to you because they do ship as well. So don't think you have to be in DFW to use this company. You could actually get it shipped to you. I just like the fact that I can actually go and pick it up after work or on the weekends. So this is pretty much about to be ready to be heated up. So let me go ahead and get this prepped. So like I said, this is a polyester shirt. But you don't have to use polyester for DTF. You can use any shirt. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this, scoot it back a little bit so I can have room. And one thing I started using are these t-shirt rulers. It's not necessary that you have to use them, but since I am using a logo, excuse me, I wanna make sure that I put it in the right spot. And this shirt is a large, so I'm using the ruler that's for large, because this right here is for 2XL up to 6XL. So I'm gonna put that right there because I don't need that right now. I'm using a large. I do have my lint rollers. You do want to lint roll the area that you're gonna put the logo on. So since the logo is gonna be on the left side, of course mine is on my right side. Yeah, right side. They were on the left, so I'm putting it over on the left. And like I said, I have worked with this company before. So this is like one of my biggest clients. I appreciate them so much for letting me work on their t-shirts. One thing they want me to do is with the ruler, it shows right here, if you can see that, pocket, which is for logo. So what you do basically, you know, I have to move the collar down a little bit so I can do it like I'm wearing it. Just move it like that. Like so. In the past, when I was doing his shirts, I basically was following the rule here, put it right there, and put the logo like so underneath it. But one thing he was saying that he noticed, because he kind of changed his logo on me, he used to have the name on the bottom of it and now it's at the top. So these are guys wearing these t-shirts. You know, as women, as you can see, I have a polo shirt. I don't have my button all the way down. I only have the first one off. But with this being a moving company, and this is Texas, it gets hot in Texas for summers. So they usually probably pull those all the way down. So now I have to make sure that I pull the logo down far enough so that way if their shirt is open to the last logo, to the last button, it doesn't cover up the logo name. So right now, let me see if we can put it closer. You can see, let me move my phone so you can see what I'm doing over here. So let me do it real quick. There you go, you can see what I'm doing. So right now, I have it open fully. Right here, I have it open fully. And I'm still gonna use the ruler part of it, but I wanna make sure that his logo is not being covered. So I'm gonna bring it down a little bit lower. So about probably right there. And I try to kind of get in the center. A trick that I learned from other people is like kind of bend it a little bit, to get it kind of even. Pinch it at a white spot up here. That is not the image, top and bottom. So I'm basically putting a little crease right there. And that way I can see exactly where my middle is. So that's the middle. Trying to bring it down a little bit lower. So that's probably about right. So that's a good spot right there. Just kind of want to get an idea because I want to get the moisture off this shirt. Some of them say you don't have to, but I'm just so used to doing this with my HTV that I'm just gonna do it naturally. So put this over here, move it back over here so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm just gonna put this on here to get the moisture out. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you too that I started doing, and I put these notes on here because there are buttons on these. Sorry about the mic. There's buttons on these t-shirts, so I have a pressing pillow that I'm gonna put underneath it, so that way I get a nice even pressure with my image. Oops, and I think I just blew the image off the ground. So yes, I did. Like I said, this is raw and uncut. Oops, I'm losing my cord. Okay, so I'm at 298, so I'm basically about ready to press this actually. And it looks like my camera's about to go off me, so let me change the card and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so we're back now. So I went ahead and fixed my memory card. I ran out of space, that's why it was counting down on me. But this is still heated. Now I'm finna basically go ahead and take the moisture out. So all I'm gonna do is put this underneath here real quick, because I already did the lint roller, but just in case you didn't see that, just basically lint roll the area where I'm gonna put it. Which this really only matters if you're using a white shirt for sublimation, because you don't want to see any like lint or anything through it. But right here, it's been in the bag since I got this from the customer, so I'm okay. I'm just gonna press this for a few seconds. Now if you're gonna lock them, just hold it for a few seconds, just to get some of the moisture out, like so. I'm just gonna make sure, and also get the wrinkles out too, because it has been in the bag since I got it from the customer. Okay, so I'll take just a few seconds to do that. Move this out the way. And now it's time to actually prep the t-shirt. So here's my image. Put this right here so I don't lose it. This right here I'm gonna put underneath it because I have buttons there. And right now, like I said, I'm finna go ahead and get this ready to go. So I'm finna open up these buttons. I'm gonna move this right here for now, because I wanna make sure that I have it low enough so that way if they have their shirts, their collars all the way down, it's not covering up the name of the logo. So just make sure that's like so. Bend it like that, because that's pretty much as far as it's gonna go right here. And I actually got this here. This is just heat transfer tape. You don't have to use heat transfer tape on it. I do it just to kind of hold it in place, so that way when I move it from here, oops, stuff on her. When I move it from here to here, it won't move on me. So just making sure the shirt is where it needs to be at. Make sure there's no wrinkles and creases in it. And once again, I'm taking my t-shirt ruler. I'm gonna basically put it over here, even though it's open, I'm sticking it where it normally would be at. All right, so like that. Oh, maybe it's backwards. All right, put it like that. Try to get it as centered as possible. So that's center, because they have the little thing here that shows center. And I'm basically going to center it with the actual tag here. So I'm just putting it like this and just bringing it down right here. And actually, I'm going to try to do it like this. I'm going to put the 0 right where that button is. And if you don't know what I mean, there's a 0 right there. I'm going to try to put it where the 3rd button is. So I'm just bringing it down. And 2 is right next to it, because I think that should be good enough for it. Take my image, and I'm going to actually place it, which might be a little bit too far back, so let me move it up a little bit. So I'm going to move where that arrow is at. So now I'm taking this arrow right here to where that button is, because I think that's a little bit too far. So bring it down, all the way down here. That should be pretty good. I did put my crease here, so I'm looking for this little crease line right there to kind of line up what this arrow is. And just move it up a little bit into that black arrow. Basically touches where it is, where my letter is right there. So like that. Move it out the way. And now I'm going to take my heat transfer tape just to kind of hold it in place for me so I can move it from my table to the heat press. And I'm gonna do like 2 pieces, like so. Actually, what I would do, just the corners, period. So I put the corners here. So that way I know it's gonna not move on me. And by doing one shirt, this will be my guide, because then I can actually use a tape measurement here and just go from here to here and see how far it is. And that way I don't have to keep using this right here to be consistent. I can just basically use my measurement tape here. So that's about right. And I'm making sure that if I pull this as far as I can down. So right now, if I was to do the measurement using this right to see what I'm talking about, I'm just gonna go for the top here at 0 and bring it all the way down. So it looks like it's about 6, don't let me tell me how to read these little white lines, a little bit past 6.5 down, which is pretty much a little far down for my taking this, but like I said, the customer wanted to see the name, so that's probably good right there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my heat press, move it over here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the sleeves up right here. Put it right there, as you can see here. And like I said, I do have buttons on here. Be careful with your hands because this is hot. So, I mean, I do have heat gloves, but I'm used to doing this, so I know I'm okay. I'm gonna put this underneath the shirt, because like I said, I do have buttons here. I want to even press. So I'm just putting it right here under, and I want to make sure that the pattern is mostly on the buttons, but I also want to make sure that my image is on top, is underneath it too. So I want the image in the pad kind of like right there. And then I'm gonna take this just to cover up, just to protect my heat press, like so. And I'm gonna close it and try to lock it down, which I can't. So I'm just gonna hold like this until it beats 15 seconds. Because since I have that actual pressure pillow, that little pressing pillow, it's hard to lock this without adjusting this. So I'm gonna take it down to 0 seconds, and then I'm gonna beat 15 seconds, just to make sure it's on there. And that's 15 seconds. So take that out right here, move it underneath the thing, because that is kind of hot. It moves you. I'm just gonna drop that pressing pillow down because I think it's hot. And like I said, I'll let it cool for about 8 seconds. So I usually use this fan to kind of help with it. Move it out the way, just to kind of cool it down a little bit. This is not necessary, but I just want to cool it a little bit. And now I'm gonna pull the tape off. And anything that I'm using, I will put links down below in the description in case you want to see where I get this tape from. Because this tape is actually from PYD. And I kind of like this because it don't leave any colors when you use it for like sublimation or anything like that. And I'm just basically holding down the image because I don't know if it transfers just yet. So, because if it don't transfer, then I'm going to have to put it right back on. In fact, we'll just wait and see. So right now, I'm going to bring that closer. You can see what I'm going to do here. Bring you a little bit closer. Bring that camera down. You can see. All right. So now I am finna moment of truth to see this actually transfer from the transfer to the shirt. So I'm just going to come to one corner and slowly pull it back. Because if I see anything come up like a letter, I can put it back on real quick and do it for another 7 to 8 seconds. And it looks like everything transfer on it. And voila, just like butter. As you can see right here, there's nothing on here, nothing on the back. And my image, let me see right here, is completely on it. So let me bring that camera back up for you guys so you can see. Right here. Bring this back a little bit. Make sure I'm clear. All right. And here is the final look. So you can see. And if you were able to feel this, it feels like it's part of the shirt. Like it feels with one of the shirt. So you don't feel anything harsh. It's just like smooth. But there you go. Oops, sorry. So that is how you use DTF transfers from DTF Dallas print shop here in DFW. I will leave their information down below in the description as well. But as you can see, that is so much easier and so much simpler than having to print out an image, which is sublimation ink, and then try to get a white t-shirt, or like I was showing earlier, using some type of vinyl that you can transfer sublimation ink on, and then you gotta press this on the shirt and then transfer your sublimation on top of this image. So it's just 2 extra layers, and you can tell that when you feel it. But with this right here, it feels like this is part of the shirt. It looks more professional, and I like it, and it stretches pretty well. So I can stretch this out real quick. It stretches very well with the fabric. Now, I think it does say with anything, wait about 48 hours before you wash them, just to make sure. I'm not quite sure. I never really washed them, because once I pressed this, I handed that to the customer. But there you have it. That is how you do DTF transfers using DTF Dallas print. Now, there's a lot of them out there in the market, but since I said I like the local people, this is local to me. If I'm in a pinch and don't feel like waiting 5 days to get it without paying extra, I can at least go down the street and pick this up. So if you have any questions, definitely hit that like button, that subscribe button. Leave any questions you might have for me, comments down below, and I'll be glad to help you out with this. But now I gotta do 11 more shirts just like this. And now that I have my mock-up ready, or my sample, all I gotta do is count this, put the shirts on top of it, and just do it again 11 more times. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later. Bye.